order to make the pauldrons for Sith Leia, I altered the design I used to make Poison Ivy's leaf pauldrons. I've started keeping my templates for just this reason. Now I'm just making sure the template matches the final product, just to make sure I didn't make any additional changes to the basic design. Now I trace the template. You can find a link to my website that has a PDF of this template. I formed the pauldron by making darts. This does leave a seam, but I don't mind it since I'm layering them. One day I will come up with a better pauldron template. Till then, this will have to do. The original design includes a pointy tip to make it more leaf shaped. I want this pauldron to be more rounded, so I eyeballed a rounded edge and repeat that for the other two layers. Then cut out the templates. Then I mark the template so I know which way is up. Now I lay the templates on thin craft foam so I can trace and cut them out. Make sure to transfer any marks on your templates to the craft foam. I also mark which side of the black line I need to cut on. This matters when you have seams that need to match up. I trace the other two pauldron layers. And then cut it out with a sharp box cutter. Really, scissors would have been sufficient. Remember to cut the dart lines. Now it's time to heat warm the pieces. Using a heat gun, carefully heat the pieces till they are soft. Once the foam is warm, I form it on my shoulder, but be careful because sometimes the foam is very hot and can burn you. Repeat with the other piece that has darts. For the uppermost layer, I heat form it in a cylindrical shape that is smaller than my shoulder. For the darts, I fold the foam over and trace a line where it meets the hash mark I previously made. This line is my new cut line. Then I cut on the line. This needs to be done as neatly as possible so the seam is not as noticeable. So I check to make sure I am cutting out the triangle section the correct way. Next, I apply glue to both sides of the cut edge. Clean the excess glue off the top. Repeat on the other side of the dart. And let the glue dry for 15 minutes. While I'm waiting on the contact cement to dry, I paint a layer of watered down wood glue on my pieces. I don't usually seal my pieces while the contact cement is still drying, but I was in a hurry. After the contact cement has dried for 15 minutes, push the edges together to form the seam. The neater you do this, the better your seam will look, so take your time and try to make the seam flat. After 5 coats of wood glue, I cut off the extra foam. In hindsight, I should have cut the extra foam before priming it, but whatevs. Next, apply 3 coats of spray paint. Now it's time to glue the pieces together using contact cement. You have to apply the contact cement to both the surfaces that will touch each other. I drew a line where the top pauldron touches the second, so I know where to apply contact cement. Wait at least 15 minutes for it to dry. Once dry, carefully attach the pieces to each other. I accidentally bent the top layer when doing this, but I make it look more like scratches later when I weather it. Now I need to mark where I want the straps to attach. So I mark one side while it's on me. And I draw a horizontal line to mark the other side. Now to cut those straps. This is a piece of black knit, and I just cut long straps that are about 1.5 inches wide. The width and length of the straps will all depend on what you want the pauldron to look like on your body. I also cut straps for my wrists. Continue cutting straps until you have 2 for the pauldron and 2 for your arms, so altogether 4. Now for my favorite part, weathering. This is the silver enamel I mentioned in my cosplay tips video. You only need a small amount, so I only use what is in the cap after I shake it. Don't rub it too much with your finger because it could take your paint off. And add some all around the edges. When weathering, consider your character and their story. How weathered or pristine would they be? I imagine Sith Leia would be pretty clean, but a little beaten up from killing creatures on various worlds Darth Vader sends her to. And I wanted her pauldron to look more like it had been used in some fights, but not like it lost those fights. It's a balance, much like Ashla and Bogan. I also used black watery paint to weather it. You can watch my Sith Leia belt tutorial to see the happy accident that led to this paint. Usually I just water my paint down though. I went a little heavy at first, so I quickly dried that away. Again, I didn't want her armor to be too dirty, but it would be pretty hard to clean in the crevices, so I focused the black paint in those areas. Once it is completely dry, I will clear coat it with glossy spray paint. Clear coating it with the gloss spray paint. Now it is time to attach these straps. So I was imagining for the straps is they would kind of just go across me and then loop back over here and then just keep going crisscross. I thought that would look kind of bad cuts. So I'm just going to use some contact cement to attach them at these points that I marked. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. This contact cement was pretty old and dried up.
Now I'm gonna wait 15 minutes.
I'm sorry guys, I failed to record me attaching the straps, but basically I just put them on the pauldron, and that stuck pretty well. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments box, and I will catch you next time. Deuces!